Hello. Sometimes the recording really saves the day.
Good
Like
morning, Gomer Nation.
we just did the turkey trot
Yeah.
and it
Yep.
totally went out midway through and I needed to use the Zoom recording. So
Dude, backups.
that would have been a disaster. All right.
Oh, if we had to redo that, forget it.
Yep. Okay, Rocky.
Rocky, dude.
Let's do it.
Sorry, there was a hair floating in the air.
No probs.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, check. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. 1, 2, 3, click. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
Okay, I've got a cold open.
Great.
From the beginning, Sylvester Stallone's biggest problem, writes Nick D. Semlian, author of the new book, The Last Action Heroes, was his face. A nerve above Stallone's jaw was severed after he was yanked too aggressively from his mother's womb with a pair of forceps, and it would forever alter the way he looked and spoke. Stallone dreamed of being an actor in a time when pretty boys ruled the silver screen, so it seemed he was doomed to play side roles, background bit parts, or supporting characters in off Broadway plays. He was cast as Biff in a production of Death of a Salesman in Switzerland, and isn't that one of the most perfect sentences? Let me say that again. He was cast as Biff in a production of Death of a Salesman in Switzerland, and isn't that one of the most perfect sentences you've ever heard? But Sly, as the world would soon know, was not one to give up. And so he wrote his own movie and cast himself in the leading role. The story, based on boxer Chuck Wepner, who fought and lost to Muhammad Ali but won the hearts of spectators in the process, was right up Stallone's alley. Once his idea gained some traction at United Artists, he wrote the entire script in one sleepless 3.5-day sprint. The production was fast-paced as well, and cheap. A car was used as wardrobe storage and a changing room. But the personal touches, natural dialogue, and pure grit of the leading man kept things moving, and a completed film was shown at the Cannes Film Festival in 1976. People went wild for it. It became the #1 hit of the year, grossing more than Taxi Driver, Carrie, and Network combined. It won Best Picture at the Oscars. And Sylvester Stallone was nominated for Best Actor, despite or because of his face. We're the two Gomers. We're talking Rocky, and this is Perfect Movie.
Welcome, everybody, to Perfect Movie, a podcast where two regular guys try to save the universe, one great film at a time. This is Anthony speaking, one of those two aforementioned Gomers, coming to you from Atlanta, Georgia, with my friend Steven, all the way out in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
You know,
We decided on a fun, totally different kind of Christmas movie. When we were
yeah.
talking about this last year, right? I was
Mm-hmm.
like, what if we did Rocky?
Yeah.
You were like, love it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, we picked a real scary movie for Halloween, October Sky,
Right.
and we picked a really Christmassy movie, Rocky, where there is one scene
Yep.
where a guy screams at his sister and her boyfriend and accuses her of being pregnant, makes her cry, smashes things all over the house. And there are Christmas lights outside. So Merry Christmas, Rocky, a Christmas movie.
Oh, it's gonna come up in evidence later, dude.
Okay.
But when you're writing a movie, which I would never do,
Mm,
I'm not a writer,
mm,
but it's just like I would want it set in this season
sure. Yeah.
between Thanksgiving and New Year's.
Yep.
It does something to the movie.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
like in kids' movies, a really easy way to get sympathy for the character is, a father wound.
Mm-hmm.
It's like super basic and easy.
Yeah.
Easy movie trope.
Yep. For
Or
you, that's
some sort of,
Christmas time,
yeah,
fall,
right.
Christmas set.
Yeah, if you just put it, then it evokes an emotion
Yeah.
immediately.
Yep, one of my favorite parts of I Am Legend is that uh the disease came during Christmas, and so there's Christmas decorations up all over New York the
Mm,
whole movie because nobody ever took their
yes.
Christmas decorations down.
Dude, I
It's a
love
great
that.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Prometheus, right? I don't know if we ever talked about that, but
Oh, we've talked about it.
I'm,
Oh
I'm
yeah,
sure we have. Probably we probably do every year. I can never remember.
definitely.
And I won't remember this. So actually I could say anything right now and I won't remember it.
Well, I mean, we've done the whole Christmas, I can't remember the word for it, Christmas movie
Taxonomy.
taxonomy where Batman Returns is in there, right? And
Yeah.
I would say when we've talked through that, we've named Rocky 4 in that
Okay.
list. Because now here's the thing about these movies. And it even happened when I was writing out my evidences before I watched the movie. I wrote
Yep.
out an evidence by accident that's in the second one
Oh.
because I have watched these movies so many times. There are now 9 of them.
Hmm.
So, like, there's so much Rocky content.
Yeah.
And I would say, especially those first 4, I confuse what's in what. And so,
Sure.
even watching, I think, even saying, yeah, let's do Rocky as a Christmas movie, I thought they fought on Christmas. They don't. I think it's New
Oh, right.
Year's
Right, right. But it takes place
in that
from
season.
Thanksgiving to New Year's. Like Thanksgiving
Right.
is when Rocky's called, right, into that office to see if he'll fight, or right before Thanksgiving.
They're right before Thanksgiving. Yep. So it's kind of it's must be early November when the movie starts.
Yep.
I mean, it's cold out, and you can tell by those burning trash can bebop singers. It's cold
Yep.
out at the beginning.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh man, Philly in the fall, going into the winter,
Yeah.
cold. I mean, again, it's just you're placing this movie in heaven.
Why
You
didn't
know,
we
like
ever why didn't we ever sing around a burning trash can when we were chaps? We
we,
should
dude,
have.
but we sang in New York trios, me, you, and Alex,
That's what
on
I'm
the
saying.
street corners.
We sang in a on a street corner. We even put a little hat out, I think, didn't we?
Yep, yep, totally.
I think we would have made more money if we had had a burning trash can in front
Yeah.
of us. I freaking love burning trash cans singing
I know,
bebop
me too.
bros.
Ooh, another great movie with burning trash cans, dude.
Uh-huh.
Night They Save Christmas.
Oh yeah. I have a night they save Christmas in my notes to talk about later. There's
Yes.
something else reminded I said last night while Jess and I were watching it. What is this? Night they save Christmas? Um, it's a
There's
different thing
also
from burning trash can.
there's also a good tie-in to the most recent 80s movie that you found and sent me
Oh,
in
what's that?
this in
Oh,
this
I know.
movie.
You mean Talia Shire, star of Rad?
Yeah. Yep. So, oh wait, the mom from Rad is in
Hmm.
Rocky?
Yeah. I was a pleasant surprise
Yeah.
when I was watching Rad in 4K or whatever.
Yeah.
Could really see Talia Shire playing a dull mom
That is pretty crazy though. Like she goes from being nominated for supporting actress, no, lead actress,
in
actress in a
this.
leading role. Yep,
Okay. Was she ever nominated for Godfather or Godfather Part 2?
maybe. I don't know. That
I mean, you're
could.
right. She is so good in these movies. I mean, so
Oh,
good in The Godfather,
she's
and
so good. Her
maybe even
transformation in this
better.
movie too.
She's so good at transforming. She does the same thing in Godfather 2. She's a completely different character in the
Yep.
second movie than she is in the first one. And if you watch all the Rockies, she has an arc for sure. This one though, she's a nerd. I mean, she's a nerd, and then she takes off those glasses and they're kissing. She doesn't even take her
Yep.
coat off or let go of her
Yep.
purse.
Yep.
Jessica would strike that scene. She hates that scene.
Oh, yeah, how he brings her back to his apartment
No does not
and
mean no there
right.
for Rocky Balboa. Um,
Yeah.
Now he must see something in her or something. It's no excuse. Rocky, when she says she's uncomfortable, you should let her leave.
Yep.
Still, that kissing is pretty good.
Yep. I mean, it's a movie. You know, I'm not, dude. I'm not saying that's okay. It's just
It's
like it's
fine.
no. It's like scripted as a story. You know, as a movie, right?
I
It's
yeah.
moving the way movies do. You're right. That
There's
doesn't
some
make it
yeah.
right, but
there's something there about why the movie is perfect for me. We'll get there, of course. But it's not one of my evidences. I think some of the characters are despicable,
Yep.
but that doesn't make the movie not perfect. They're written so well.
Yeah. Well, I feel like a lot of it's pretty true to life, super gritty.
I think that's why people love it and why I
Yep.
love it. And we'll get back to that. But yes, Thanksgiving to New Year's, Jack and Jill style, Thanksgiving to New Year's. It's a great movie to watch this time of year.
Yep.
Um, but it does not necessarily have a ton of Christmas in it. I think if you want more Christmas, you go for the second one or the fourth one. Um, but it's one of these things. I mean, Eye of the Tiger doesn't show up until the third one.
Right.
There's hardly any Mickey in this movie.
Yep.
The training montage, which we talk endlessly about on this podcast, we
Yep.
talked about during the Little Women episode.
Right.
There isn't really much of it in this movie. It's an hour and 40 minutes before Mickey agrees to train him in a 2 hour
Yep.
movie.
Yeah. The pacing in this movie is so interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the first hour really is just setting up,
An
you
hour,
know.
I guess an hour 20 in. There's 40 minutes left after Mickey starts training him. But you wouldn't think that the other movies are paced so differently. Like you're saying,
Yeah.
this movie's all set up.
Yep. 100%. Uh, let me ask,
Mm-hmm.
because we used to do like 10 Christmas episodes of the Gomers. Now we do just a few.
Yep. Yeah.
But is it feeling at all Christmassy around there?
I mean, there's snow on the peaks. That helps.
Nice.
First time yesterday, it rained down here and it snowed up on the mountain. And so it looks snowy. Um, in my job, Christmas starts early, so our Christmas cards are almost ready to be sent. Um, I don't know if it feels that way though. I wonder if doing a straight up Christmas movie would have helped with that. I mean, we've done our share, right? We did Home Alone. We did Home Alone 2 on the bonus disc. We did Charlie Brown Christmas. What else have we done?
Yep.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life last year. Yep. Or 2 years
No,
ago.
2 years ago.
What did we do last year?
The Santa Claus.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, yeah. So around here,
Mm,
the reason I asked
yeah.
is I'm in the studio right now.
Recording Christmas
And
music. Are you?
no. I mean,
I thought you meant
I'm in Gomer
your
Studios
job.
East.
Gomer Studios East. I
No,
got it.
no.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we were in the studio. We did Dvorak 9. That
Okay.
was fun.
Is that at all Christmassy?
No, the New World
Okay.
Symphony. Uh,
Yeah.
but here's maybe this will stir some nostalgia for our listeners and for you also. So I'm
Okay.
in our studio right now, Gomer Studios East,
Mm-hmm.
and in here is all of Lily's stuff because
Okay.
she's been displaced because we have family here.
Right. Your mom's there.
Yep. So Lily gave up her room so
Yeah.
that my mom could have her room, right?
Yep.
And doesn't that just make it feel like, to me, like seeing one family member's stuff in another room kind of
Yep.
like spread out with a
Yeah.
bed on the floor, like that's just a it's oh, yep, see, you've got a mattress in
I've got a
there.
mattress in my office ready for a teenage boy to sleep on.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah.
That's
Everybody shifts. So it's so
yeah.
funny, right? Like, so Jack has decided I am not, I've given for 18 years, I've given up my room as a guest room. He's staying in his room.
Okay.
Noah, because it's not really his room anymore.
Right.
He has to sleep on the couch.
Oh, shoot.
My parents are in our bedroom. We have to go up to a different room, and we have kids sleeping in each of our offices. So I know exactly what I mean. There's that, like, and that we're putting the leaf in the table.
Leaf in the table. Yep.
So, and then we go full on Christmas music on Thanksgiving morn. Now I have been
Okay.
listening to some
Yep.
when I've done, like, I'm writing a sermon that I'm giving during Christmas. While I was writing that, I was listening to Christmas music. So
Okay.
I'm getting there. It's been a warm fall also, so that has felt a little bit delayed.
Sure. Okay. So we uh finally, okay, this is something that happens every year, is
Mm-hmm.
I always want to get, you know, uh, one of the things I always want to get is some new Christmas artwork
Oh,
in the
cool.
house.
Yeah.
And I always think about it first week of December.
Uh-huh.
And then, oh, well, should I do expedited shipping so that it could get here by Christmas? But then we would only enjoy it next year. You know what
and,
I mean?
and next year it's impossible for you to think about at that point. Like, screw that.
Right.
Forget it. Next year.
So, I mean, I could probably look back on my screenshots. It's
Uh-huh.
been at least 2 Christmases where
Yeah.
I've been eyeing this artwork to give Aaron as a Christmas present.
Okay.
Just kind of, it's like these hand done illustrations of like New York in
Ooh.
winter.
Yep.
It's actually
Awesome.
really cool. And I somehow actually remembered it at the beginning
Mm.
of November, and it just arrived,
Okay.
so we can frame it and put it up all around our house
Wondrous.
for
Wonderful.
Thanksgiving. Because,
Uh-huh.
as we've talked about on the podcast for years now,
Yep.
Thanksgiving in a Christmas house is, again, it's heaven.
Yep.
It's the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Love it.
So
So
super excited about that. Actually thought ahead.
yeah, that's great. Did you say you have it up already? That painting?
No, it's so there. Here's another Christmassy thing. Our
Uh-huh.
entryway is full of brown boxes of many different shapes and sizes. Like,
Amazon boxes, is that what you're talking about?
yeah, Amazon boxes. All that
Uh-huh.
artwork came and it's like rolled up. So there's a
Yep.
long tube box
Mm-hmm.
and then a bunch of frame boxes
Okay.
of different
Yep.
sizes.
Yes.
I got a It's a Wonderful Life vintage poster that's like full movie
Wow.
size poster.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That's amazing.
So we're gonna try to make it really Christmassy, dude.
Let me show you what we found at a garage sale 2 years
Oh,
ago. I'm sharing screen. This is what we have over
ooh.
the fireplace during Christmas. A
Oh, I
Thomas
love it.
Kincaid,
Yup.
one of like it has a little thing like one of 150 prints or something. Like it's worth a ton
Cool.
of money, and we found it in just this. You know how sometimes in garage sales all the paintings are just like lined up, and you
Right.
like flip through them like records.
Yup.
Really nicely framed. One of these things, bro. You just luck out, and it's a big deal when I put that painting up every year.
Oh yeah.
It's called
The
Christmas
painting of
Cottage.
night. Yeah. Oh man. I love it. It just, yeah, it's, we talk about it like our Christmases are like when our house looks the best.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, how can we get our house to be that festive and joyful and happy all year? You know what I mean?
You know how we've done it with our century plants, lights up all
Yup.
year.
Yup.
So we agree with you so much that we're like we do Thanksgiving lights. Mm.
Yeah.
So that's what our house is decorated right now for Thanksgiving with lights.
Okay.
So
So do you have your Christmas tree up though?
no, we're gonna buy that on Sunday morning.
Oh, you used to do that,
We
right?
used to, and this time because the family's here, we have decided to keep it Thanksgiving, and then when my parents are here, we're gonna get the tree.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yep.
Wait.
We don't have rules anymore. Like if we just feel like it, we'll do what we want at this point. Um,
Yeah.
so this time we just decided let's do it this way this year.
Okay.
Maybe another reason why I'm not completely Christmas crazy right now. Now this episode is coming out full on in Christmas season.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, so just for the listener, this is Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
We're recording this,
Yep.
and we're going this afternoon to get our Christmas tree.
Awesome, bro.
So we're
I
gonna do
love it.
that, and I've finally got my Christmas vinyl collection building.
Wow.
And you'll hear on my Gomer's favorite things the one that I found last year.
Okay.
That.
Well, hopefully we'll hear it on the Christmas album draft episode, which comes out in December.
Okay, great, love it.
So, all right, Rocky. Enough Christmas talk. Let's talk
Sorry.
about a wonderful Christmas movie, Rocky. Do you want to do the one sheet?
I sure do.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. Rocky, release
Rocky.
date December 3rd, 1976. Comes in under 2 hours, which is amazing. I
Just
mean,
under, right? An hour 19, an hour 59, I think.
yep.
Yeah, love it.
I mean, perfect though.
Yep.
Uh, Budget for this movie, according to IMDb, I heard it was a million.
Yeah.
IMDb says 960,000. I mean, so this is the cheapest, but the lowest budget movie we've ever done on the podcast. Maybe even under Night They Saved.
I was gonna say on the main feed, maybe. I was thinking Night They Save might be less.
You're right.
They did have to pay for what's the robot's name? Pal.
Oh, right. Yeah. Right.
Big
Who
expense.
help you cheat on your homework.
Lots of helicopter shots that might have been lots of needed blastings. They're blowing
Yeah.
up a lot of stuff in that movie,
They
so
blew up
maybe
a
it
lot of
is.
stuff.
Yeah. My guess
Actually,
is that
dude,
those are just stock footage of needed blastings. I don't think they blew up the North Pole for that. I think they probably were like going to the library looking through microfiche for footage of that for that movie.
right. Well, but they did get all those trucks and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, lots of
So,
elves.
yep. I mean that was probably somewhat expensive.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm just looking on IMDb. It doesn't say budget.
Oh, I'm surprised.
Dang
I'm
it.
surprised.
Oh man. Okay, so this is probably the second lowest budget.
So wait, so if this was the lowest, it might also be the biggest hit that we've ever talked
Totally.
about based on price, based on budget. So it multiplied
absolutely.
117 times.
Yes. So I heard at another place that this hit over 200 million, but according to IMDb, 117 million at the box office.
I wonder with
Incredible.
re-releases and stuff like that. And then you think about the what it wrought. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
totally.
Like I said, 9 movies at this point. My guess is something like Creed probably did 400, 300 or 400 million. You know what I mean? So it's like 117 million is the tip of the iceberg on Rocky IP.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like this started in an empire, right?
Yes, the Rocky Empire. You're right. Another thing I like about the third and fourth movies are the whole thing mirrors everything. You know what I mean? This movie mirrors Stallone's journey. When you get to 3 and 4, it's what Stallone is up to. You know, he's a celebrity now. He owns robots, stuff like that.
I mean, it is his story.
Oh yeah, it's fun actually to watch through the whole thing and see it's his story the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I truly haven't watched any other than the first one since college.
They're so good. They're all good except for the fifth one.
Balboa and Creed.
Okay, so we watched Rocky Balboa together in the theater. That's the sixth one.
Yep.
I remember peeing afterwards in the bathroom and talking about how we liked it. Yep. You have seen Creed?
Oh wait, no, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Shoot.
Never mind.
People can go back to my sub 5 in review and hear about how Creed helped me finish that race.
Oh yeah. Okay, I was confusing Creed with Balboa.
Oh yeah.
And I think when we went to Balboa, I didn't know it was a Rocky movie.
You didn't recognize his name?
I'm totally joking, dude. Just trying to sound super dumb.
No.
I think it's possible you would have texted me like, "Hey, dude, do you want to see Balboa?"
Yeah.
It's called Rocky Balboa, though, right?
It's called Rocky Balboa. You knew it was a Rocky movie.
Yeah, no. I might have been like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
You know,
that could be
practicing bassoon. Okay,
so the boys really like these movies, and so especially when they were in middle and high school, we would watch them around this time of year. We'd watch through. We went to all the Creeds on opening weekend. So Jack has Rocky 4 poster in his bedroom. Rocky's a big part of stuff over here. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's why I get confused because I've seen it all so much, and I'm like, oh crap, that's Eye of the Tiger. Not until the third one.
Right. Wait, is Eye of the Tiger in Karate Kid?
No, that's you're the best. All right.
Oh yeah. Okay, got it. And was Eye of the Tiger used in anything else?
Well, I don't think movies. I think it's a Rocky thing.
Okay. Okay. All right. This movie,
Mm,
the first one written by Sly Stallone, won 3 Academy Awards.
wow.
So it multiplied its budget by 117 times.
Hmm.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Uh, then it won 3 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Director for
Uh-huh.
John Avildsen.
This is our second John Avildsen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Karate Kid, and then
Mm-hmm.
this. Yep.
Yep, which are very similar movies.
I love it. Yep.
And I have a similar Stricken that we got to get to.
Great.
Um, and Best Film Editing. It was nominated for Academy Awards for Sylvester Stallone and
Yep.
Talia Shore.
Shire.
Shore? Sorry.
Shire. Yep.
I can't read my own handwriting.
It does look like Shore. I
It
think it is
does.
Shore here on the one sheet.
Okay.
It
The
is in
answer
real
is
life, it's Shire.
Moops. Moops. Okay. Uh, she was nominated for Best Actress in a Leading Role,
Hmm.
Supporting Actor, both for Burt Young and Burgess Meredith, Polly and Mickey.
Right. Wow.
Also nominated for Best Screenplay Written for the Screen, Sylvester
Mm-hmm.
Stallone. Best Sound, which
Hmm.
I actually think the fight sound is terrible.
What did you watch this on? Did you stream it on
Amazon?
Max? Okay.
Nope. Oh, is it on Max?
It's on Max and Paramount Plus, both.
Really? Okay, so I asked Siri on our Apple TV,
Uh-huh.
play Rocky,
Yeah.
and it just opened Amazon. Boom.
Okay.
I didn't even look around.
Yeah. It looked real good on HBO Max. I guess it's just Max now. But the dialogue during the fight at the end is real weird.
Yeah, same thing with Amazon. Like all the ADR stuff is clearly it's
Okay.
super ADR.
That must just be how it's always been.
Oh yeah,
And so it's the
yeah.
dialogue is so loud
Yep.
during the it's weirdly mixed. I'm surprised it got an Oscar nomination.
So maybe that was just normal then and it was really
Yeah.
good for then.
It
'Cause
sounds pretty 70s, right? That part.
oh yeah, the
Yeah.
miking, all the voices, all the audience noise, all the,
Mm-hmm.
like one of my favorite sound effects is his slipper sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he's walking around in slippers, it's like keek keek
Yeah,
keek.
that's good.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That is also in Sixth Sense, has great
Oh.
slipper sounds.
I'm gonna have to go watch that again for the slipper sound.
Yeah, his mom, the mom in the movie,
Right? Yep.
she's always wearing these slippers, and I think the Foley artist had a lot of fun with that.
Perhaps it's a Rocky homage, the
I know.
slipper
Well,
sound.
I mean, seriously, when I heard it, it
Uh-huh.
shot me back to Sixth Sense slippers, and I was like, I wonder if it's actually the same sound
What,
effect.
what a weirdo you are. I mean, sometimes I just have to say it. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I was like, is that the same? Is that the sound effect?
Yeah. Okay.
jeez.
That's funny. So I'm glad it got nominated because of slipper. That must have been why slipper sound.
Yeah, they're like, quote those. It's like the Wilhelm scream of slipper sounds.
Yeah. I'm gonna start
Uh,
hearing it everywhere.
Yep. but even with the audience noise and the crowd noise, it'll
Yeah.
be like clear cut.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, just it's super dated. It was probably
Yeah.
great then.
Yep. It's very 70s though.
Excuse me.
Sneezing.
I'll edit out all of my coughing and all of my sneezing.
Okay.
I'm sorry about that.
No problem. I'm sick too, so you might have to do it for me.
Great. Also nominated for Best Original Song, Gonna Fly Now, Bill
Mm-hmm.
Conti.
Yep. Our friend
Oh,
Bill Conti, also from Karate Kid, right?
Also from Karate Kid, also from For Your Eyes Only, For His Eyes, what, the Bond movie?
Oh, okay.
Bill, dude, me, Chad,
Uh-huh.
and his parents
Yeah.
went to see an all Bill Conti concert conducted by Bill Conti at the Madison Symphony when we were in middle school or high school.
And so it was Rocky,
Yep.
Karate Kid, and that one James Bond movie.
Right. I mean, he's done tons of stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, these are the two I know. Yeah, so he also has a um Jessica last night said there's a Miyazaki sound to his piano stuff. So like
Oh,
when like Rocky's walking sadly down the street
oh, I
and it's
love
just
it.
piano,
Yeah.
like it sounds like out of Spirited Away.
Mm,
It's so good. I love this score.
yeah, me too. We're gonna talk about that when we talk. I want to talk about Perfect Scene later
Okay, great.
that I really resonated with, and Bill Conti plays a pivotal role.
Okay, awesome.
Um, Rotten Tomatoes, 92% critic,
Okay.
69% audience. Not sure, we don't know what that means from
What
the
the heck?
70s.
69?
I know
69
that's
dudes?
69 dudes. Rotten Tomatoes. What? What? I was actually thinking, who doesn't like this movie?
I wonder what the other how the
What does
other
that even
Rockies
mean?
stack up audience wise.
That'd be
I I
good.
I actually think this is the slowest. Well, there's no doubt
Oh,
about it. This is the slowest Rocky movie.
oh yeah. This, I mean, I'm totally with you. This is I mean, it's just like how Alien is better than Aliens. I love I've watched this more than all the other ones clearly, and I haven't watched the other ones in a long time.
Sure.
Although I watched half of Rocky 2 this morning.
Mm, that's
Um,
good.
but I think it's perfect in that it creates a world. It's the episode 4 of Star Wars. It's
Yep.
Alien.
Yep.
Uh what are the other ones where oh, Terminator, although
Yeah.
Terminator 2 is, you know.
But the world is created and like
Right.
it goes it's kind of for I would say maybe for an audience today, it kind of plods, right? There's
Yeah.
you really have to kind of settle in for this movie because there's almost no fighting.
Well, okay, so this is why, man, we're not, this is like tramping on evidence, but Erin loves Rocky.
Right.
And
Jessica likes this movie a lot.
about an hour and 40 minutes, then she's like, I'm done with this movie. She
Yeah.
wants to skip the fight scene, doesn't give a rip about it.
Which is the opposite of what we would do on laydown days. Sometimes we would fast forward the Talia Shire stuff. What were we thinking to get to the
Stupid.
fights? You moronic
Stupid.
teenage boys.
So dumb. But Erin just she loves the drama of this movie. Like,
Okay.
is so
Yep.
drawn in. But the fights, she's like, get me out of here.
Right.
She's like, why does boxing exist?
Same with Jessica. She hates boxing,
I don't.
but likes Rocky.
Yeah, totally. And then because there's the least fighting of any of the movies in this one,
Yep.
it's her favorite for sure.
Yes. Well, they're in lockstep on this one. They
Okay.
when it comes to Rocky, Aaron and Jessica agree.
Yeah. I think they agree on a lot, dude.
Yep. So there's that. Okay, should I read the back of the box?
Absolutely.
Here we go. I found the original VHS, which
Wow.
there are it says rare find. It's selling for $190 on eBay. Somebody is trying to sell a copy of this for 20 grand.
Hmm.
Yeah, right. Now I would love to own it. All that
Yeah.
said, when I saw $190, I was like, maybe.
Yeah.
There are a ton of reissues of the VHS, but they all talk about the series more than they talk about this movie. And so I really
Sure.
like this one. So, and this one feels right from the 70s. It says, a poignant love story with dynamic ending, exclamation point. Awarded Best Picture of the Year in 1976, Rocky has won the hearts of millions everywhere. Sylvester Stallone stars in the title role as a two-bit fighter with a once-in-a-lifetime shot at the world heavyweight title. Talia Shire plays Adrian, a young, lonely woman who develop and geeky too, who develops a tender and beautiful relationship with Rocky after he assaults her. Just kidding. Not really. A timeless
This the
story
OG
about
adorkable.
that's right, yeah. The Zoe Deschanel of
Yep.
late
Remade, played by
1970s.
Zoe Deschanel.
That's the remake. Why wasn't she in Creed? He falls in love with Zoe Deschanel. A timeless story about the pursuit of the great American dream. Rocky has universal appeal that is unsurpassed. 119 minutes. Great news. And I love this on the back of a VHS box. It says in parentheses, color
Yeah. Yeah.
1976. This is when they had to say so, you know?
Sure. Yep.
And especially probably because Raging Bull was in black and white. They're like, some boxing movies can be in color. So this
Yeah.
one's in color.
This one's
It's
in
kind of
color
like
red,
a
white, and blue
there's
and
red, white, and
gray.
blue in it, but I would say it's mostly dirt color
Yep.
grime.
Dirt, like gray. That gray training suit, man.
Dirty gray. It's almost a one-piece training suit.
Yep. Totally.
It's like melted together. This training, the
Right.
sweatsuit he's wearing.
Yep.
Rated PG.
Wow.
That's a night with the family you can spend
Yep.
with Rocky. All right, bro. Let's go into the trial. I'm assuming we've already hinted at several things, but we should put Rocky on trial.
All right, let's do it. All right, let me grab my LaCroix.
Should I keep recording?
Yeah, you keep recording if you want.
Okay. I'm gonna fly now. Good song. Good score. All right, the things that were on this Gomer one sheet that we didn't talk about were Bohemian Rhapsody came out, which we talked about. Oh yeah, of course, during the Wayne's World app. And Anthony has on here that the Space Shuttle Enterprise was unveiled. I read that wrong when I first read it. I thought it was the Starship Enterprise. Nope, it's Space Shuttle Enterprise. Other cast choices. Who knows if we'll talk about this? James Caan, that makes a ton of sense. I wonder if that would have worked with Talia Shire, if there might have been some Godfather confusion there. Burt Reynolds makes sense. Ryan O'Neal, don't know who that is. Let me look that up. And Susan Sarandon, probably not as Rocky. Let's see, Ryan O'Neal. Okay, I don't know who this guy is. He's a handsome guy. Seeing pictures with a mustache. Looks like he's a soap star. Interesting.
All right, sorry, dude.
No probsies. Right, he's back.
I could hear all that.
Wait.
All right, let's clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap. 1, 2, 3, clap.
Clap.
All rise.
Hey, how's it going over there? Yo, Adrian! Yo, Adrian! Adrian! Oh. All right, I'm trying this new flavor that Chad texted us.
Uh-huh.
Orange cream bubbly.
You've never tried this before?
Oh, yeah.
How flavor forward is it? Is it flavorful?
Wow.
Like a limoncello? You know the limoncello, how flavorful it is?
Yep, this is flavorful.
Say this flavor again. Orange what?
Orange cream bubbly, or orange vanilla flavor with other natural flavors. It's bubbly sparkling water.
Oh, bubbly. Okay.
Look at that.
Great graphic.
Wow, that is good.
Far superior, in my
recommendation,
opinion,
Chad.
to La Croix. The graphic.
I mean, I am fully on the blue La Croix bandwagon now. I'm just about done with flavors.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just like water.
I mean,
or bubbly water.
I don't usually have expensive tastes, but I'm almost exclusively Topo Chico right now.
Oh, bro, yeah.
Because Sam's Club just sells them by the pallet. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I just go in there, and whenever I'm in there, I can't say no to a box of Topo Chico. And if you cut that with a juice,
oh, totally, bro.
with orange juice, that's an Orange and Soft Gespritz from my native land of Austria.
Yeah.
It tastes like Europe to me, which is weird because it's
good.
a Mexican seltzer. But whatever.
Right. I'm a Pellegrino fan.
Yep.
Just because I'm Italian.
I mean, speaking of Italian, it's Rocky's favorite seltzer, Pellegrino.
You know he drank Pellegrino 100%.
Let me do the rules because I want to talk about how it's so Italian. Okay. So
Okay.
this is the trial. We pick a movie we love. We talk through it. This is a long time coming, Rocky. We're joking about we're doing it during Christmas. We've wanted to do this for a long time during Christmas.
Yeah.
It
Totally.
it makes a lot of sense to us. We
Hmm.
act as this movie's defense counsel and present evidence, and we attempt to prove to each other and to you, the listener, that the movie is not only great but perfect. And when we're done, we vote. You get a vote, listeners. Anthony gets a vote, and I get a vote. If it's 3 votes, yes, and a yes vote from the audience is 75% or more, that equals perfect. We put it on the holodeck of the Enterprise.
Yep.
We go get Khan. This is the last one. This is our last one that we might be able to send a
Oh man.
Khan. Last one of the year. Um, and he watches it and is converted to a fine gentleman. I wonder if this would be if this would really hit close to home for Khan. I mean, he's a muscular man.
Yep. I think that would be a cool fight to see Rocky versus Khan. Ricardo Montalban.
Why didn't they ever do that? It seems like a money-making opportunity there. Ricardo Montalban versus Sylvester Stallone. I mean, who knows? The 80s were weird. They could
Yep.
have done some sort of crossover on TV or something. Um,
Totally.
but yeah, I think he would really love Rocky, and so we're gonna try to get Rocky up to Khan and save the universe. Um, you just Anthony, can you play that sound again? When
Yep.
we
Here we go.
come to an evidence, you'll hear that sound. Um,
Yep.
Rocky is Italian. That's like a big deal.
Yeah. He's the Italian stallion.
It's his title. It's what gets him the fight is the title.
That's it. Totally. Like so Apollo Creed is looking through this book,
Yup.
right? It's a hardbound book. Isn't that
What
weird?
is
And
this?
what
What is this yearbook he's looking
yeah.
through?
Yeah, I mean it's like a hardcover book. Looks like a novel, Dostoevsky or something, but it's
with
just
with
bios and pictures of
pictures of like just beaten up faced fighters who never went
yeah.
anywhere. I want this book.
Yeah. Wow. I wonder if that exists.
Probably somebody has done that on Etsy.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
the journal from Last Crusade,
right, exactly.
their
Um,
diary.
yeah, so if people haven't seen this movie, the conceit of it is Rocky Balboa is just kind of a washed up fighter, but he gets real lucky because Muhammad Ali kind of simulacrum, who is now I'm forgetting his name. Creed,
Apollo
of
Creed.
course, Apollo Creed
Yep.
decides he wants to do something big, and so he wants to invite just a regular everyman underdog to fight him in a New Year's
Yep.
Eve fight. And so he's trying to pick who it is. He's looking through that yearbook,
Yep.
and I didn't remember this before. He gets picked because of his name.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like the Italian stallion. I like that.
He likes the marketing that could create.
Yep. Yep.
And so it's a real like he just lucks out.
Totally.
And it's because he's Italian. Now they really press into that in the later movies. He opens up an Italian restaurant in Rocky
Mm-hmm.
Balboa.
Yep.
Um,
Right.
he's got sort. Does he have is it an Italian accent? What is? I mean, it's
No,
his
I mean,
voice. It's just a
I would have
Sylvester's
thought that
voice.
was. I mean, it's East Coast,
It's
so
Philadelphia.
yeah, I can't. I don't know that I could identify a Philadelphia accent versus a New York accent, just because
Right.
we're Midwestern and now you're Western and I'm in the South.
Yeah.
But it actually, Aaron and I were talking about this yesterday in the car.
Uh-huh.
Like his voice is just uniquely him.
Yeah. And it's
You know
because
what I
of that
mean?
nerve that got severed, right?
Right. Yep.
His half of his face. I mean, he had to learn to talk differently than everyone else.
Mm.
But then so it's not only that, it's kind of a slurred voice.
Yeah.
But he also it's really deep.
It's deep. It's almost I mean, it's almost a caricature voice though. You know? Cuz
Yeah.
I listened to this one interview where I listened to it on a podcast.
Yep.
And it was Rocky talking to Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, interesting.
So it was a conversation between the two,
Okay.
and you
So you
could
can hear his
clearly,
actual voice versus his Rocky affected voice.
yep,
Yep.
and you could clearly tell the difference.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Like the way I thought of it is like when I'm reading books to my kids,
Mm-hmm.
and you do different,
Sure.
different voices for different characters.
Yep.
So this is clearly a character voice that he's made up.
Yeah. Yep. I just know him so well as Rocky
Yeah,
that when I see him in a Demolition Man or like the Expendables movies, and he's kind
yeah.
of like talking more clearly,
Hmm.
I don't really like it very much.
Oh, you're like, go back to that other.
Definitely. It,
I mean, is it like Larry David or Jerry Seinfeld where they are them, like themselves, sort of?
no, I don't think so. I think this is a real character. I mean, Sylvester Stallone is super smart.
Sure, sure. Yeah. I guess yeah, I just kind of contradicted what I said earlier about how it's a character voice. But it's almost as if what made me think of that is that Larry David and Curb Your Enthusiasm is like the real Larry David in real life has become more like his
Yeah,
character.
I see what you mean.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like it's concentrated Larry
Yeah.
David.
Right. And this could be, I
That
mean,
yeah.
I mean, Sly, and thank you, Kevin, for suggesting that we watch the documentary Sly. I'm going to do that um, before we record the result show.
Oh
Um,
yes, for sure.
he knows that this character is what people know more than Rambo, more than anything, right? And
Yeah.
so he must play into that like Larry David does.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you see an interview of him, he is not punchy.
Right.
Part of Rocky is he knows he's dumb. I don't think he's dumb, but he is
No.
not a genius, right? Like he he is a little slower, and that's kind of part of who he is and part of his charm and part I think of why this movie works.
Yeah. Yep.
In fact, can I chunk in?
Do it.
So I picked a favorite scene, perfect scene for me.
Okay. Great.
And I think it really for me it's the pet store.
Okay.
Um where I think you really start to love him.
Yeah.
And it's because he is really funny. You see him practicing this joke that he's going to do in the
Yeah.
pet store. This turtle
Uh-huh.
food, it had more flies than it did moths. I had to knock on the shell. What was I doing? Shell shocked, right? That's his joke. He's practicing that. He gets to the pet store. He does it.
Yep.
Um, and I really don't. I wish I had looked this up more. I don't know how much of his dialogue is ad libbed.
Mm. Mm-hmm. No idea.
It's got to be some,
Yeah.
especially around the turtles that he does more turtle material later.
Sure. Like he might have just been like turtle scene,
Right.
as he's writing the script, and then I'll improvise it.
Do a tight 10 on turtles
Yeah.
in the apartment, right?
Right.
There's his dialogue, and I mentioned this in the cold open, is so natural and realistic. And he says things that have nothing to do with moving the plot forward.
Yep.
And he is charming
Mm-hmm.
and funny
Mm-hmm.
and perfect. I think that it is obviously this is not anything. I mean, it's his best role. He is best as Rocky. And I think it's the dialogue that does it. And it really so the scene that I had originally was the proposal scene. That doesn't happen in this movie. He
Oh yeah.
proposes to Adrian in the second one and he says, "Hey, Adrian." I mean, his proposal, they're walking in on the street and he goes, "I was wondering if you wouldn't mind too much if you would maybe get married to me. Like, would you mind too much if we got married?" That's his proposal. And it's
Yeah.
so sweet and wonderful. And that's just who he is. And I think in
Yep.
the pet store, you really start to fall in love with this guy and get completely behind him because he's
Yeah.
not just a fighter. He's also really unique and interesting. And everything that he says is funny, is charming,
Yeah.
even sometimes deep,
Yeah.
and you just want this guy to succeed.
Yeah. Well, it's even off the cuff sounding. Like,
Yes.
I mean, another great moment for that is when he goes to take her on the date
Mm-hmm.
on Thanksgiving,
Yep. Yes.
and Polly's like, "Go talk to her," like go talk, and he's like knocking on the door,
It
you
starts
know.
doing material about, hey, I never talked to a door. This is kind of
Well,
strange for me. I never talked to a door. No, I never
yeah,
did that before. And he keeps looking
it's
at Polly like, is that good? Was that
was that
funny?
how was it? Yeah, totally. I know. It's so not just kind of like in a fighting movie. It's not just macho man.
Right.
It's super vulnerable. Like
Man,
he
you're so right. Yes.
you know
Yep.
he and it's so like introspective,
Mm-hmm.
uh and he's willing to let his guard down pretty easily, which would be anti-fighting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep. And it's so interesting that Stallone would write him that way.
Yeah. Yep.
That it's he knows that he is a little bit odd, I think. Stallone does.
Uh-huh.
And
Uh-huh.
so he's like, it's not going to work for me to write a superhero boxer movie, even though that
Right.
is what it becomes later on. When
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when he's fighting Mr. T and Hulk Hogan, like it
Mm-hmm.
evolves into something different, and I like it. But I like
Mm-hmm.
this more, where he's just the most regular guy
Yeah.
ever put
Yeah.
on film. I feel like he is so normal, and that just works so well with what the movie's about.
Well, even okay, you could even look at the way his body develops over
Mm-hmm.
the movies. In
Yes, you're
this
right.
one, dude, he is skinny
Uh-huh.
with some sweet guns that we could only wish we could have.
But if you compare
But
the guns here to the guns in the third one, or even the end
right.
of the second one, they don't
Yep.
really even grease him up that much in this movie. But
No.
let's just talk about his biceps. The biceps aren't really that defined in
No,
this
he
movie.
just looks like a normal, like a fit normal dude. Not like
Yep.
not normal, but
No,
like
but
a
a
normal.
strong guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like okay, when he's wearing clothes, he looks
Uh-huh.
like a pretty normal skinny guy.
Now I do really like that one V-neck sweater he has.
Oh,
It's in
it's
the
really
Christmas scene.
yep, really really cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Here's what I mean because like as it develops and
Mm-hmm.
then other muscly guys, I mean Arnold of course,
Yeah.
when they wear clothes or like The Rock,
Yep.
they don't look
You're right.
just like a normal dude when wearing like a suit.
I think you're right. The
Like
Rock
the suit
cannot
is still like
hide how he
yeah.
looks underneath, no matter what he wears. He can wear a parka in the Arctic,
Yeah.
and you'd be able to tell that guy is ripped.
Right. When he just has his I mean, I love his look in
Uh-huh.
all the different scenes. I mean, the black top hat with the black kind of like leather jacket and his
Love,
swagger. I mean,
love.
how he's all like how they talk about actors think about the walk of a person
Mm-hmm.
that they're,
Yep.
of a character that they're working on. Like, man, I love how he's always kind of like he's always boxing.
You're right. He
Like he
bounce every step is
he
a
yeah,
bounce. Yep.
he's always bouncing and
Mm-hmm.
shifting. And
Yeah.
I wrote down actually that I feel like up until maybe like an hour 20 or like hour 40 when we get
Uh-huh.
to my perfect scene, in general, he just is always has this optimism about
Oh
him.
yeah.
Like his life kind of sucks.
I mean,
Like
his apartment sucks.
his apartment is sick.
His
His
job
I mean,
sucks.
his job sucks. I mean,
Yeah.
he's but he has this deep compassion. He's the muscle
Yeah.
for like kind of like the mob sort of
Or
or
some
for
sort of like gambling guy. Is that
yeah.
what it is? Like I what is
He's
his
like, you
job?
owe him money. You owe him
Yeah.
$200. He
Yep.
told me I need to come break your thumbs because you won't pay him back.
Right. But he's too nice to break thumbs,
Yeah.
which I also like. That is a really great character establishment thing. He can't actually break anybody's thumbs because he's too nice.
Yeah. Right. So
So
I'll
he's
be the
bad at his
muscle.
job.
So what? Because okay, like I feel like now
Mm.
in movies he would have broken the thumbs and been a real jerk, but then Because you know what I mean? Like in movies now,
Uh-huh.
uh, there's always a scene, even with the main hero that you love, where they like kill somebody or break their thumbs,
Right.
or
Yeah.
like I
And they
mean,
have
even
to
in
be
the beginning,
redeemed from that. Yeah.
yeah, he
Yep.
doesn't need any of that.
Yeah.
Like he actually has that integrity where
Uh-huh.
he's always the same guy.
Yep.
Even though he's the muscle, he's like, but I won't go over that line. I'll try to enforce the law for you,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to break his thumbs.
Now there is a scene later where the tempest within explodes, right? Like he's chill, he's kind of nice, and then an hour and 20 in, there's a long scene where he's acting out, I think, and yelling and screaming.
Okay,
So
and
I
this is
really,
with Mickey.
yep, which I also really like because I think that brings the character a level deeper. He's just mad at life and he hates life,
Yep.
and we see that. And
Yeah,
so
so
you,
that would be where this kind of this general optimism all the time.
yeah,
Maybe like underneath it is that tempest that you're saying,
right,
and finally explodes.
yeah, and I really like that scene. It's kind of hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It goes on a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lot of scenes go on a long time in this movie, and so you just have to be ready for that, I think. Um, but I love it because you kind of see the facade fall away a little bit. I think he
Mm-hmm.
is a deeply optimistic person, but even the most optimistic people are like, actually, life sucks sometimes.
Yeah. Underneath it all,
Yep,
like
it's
when when the music fades, like
yep,
and all is stripped away.
yep, yeah.
Like
It's go ahead.
he's like, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Mickey thing really hurt him when he goes to his locker,
Oh yeah, that
right?
sucks. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that was,
His feelings are
and
hurt.
yeah, his feelings are really hurt by that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been replaced. He's 6 years in.
Yep.
He's like, you're a meathead. What does he call him?
He
He's
doesn't
like, you
call him
had a
a
lot of talent.
bum. There's lots of bum talk. What I can't remember what Mickey calls him in that
He
moment. A meathead?
well, he calls him an Italian slur
That's right. In the gym. That
in the
and everybody
gym.
shuts up and listens to them fight when he says that.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh, but there's something else he calls him though before that.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was like, you had a lot of talent, but you're
Mm-hmm.
something. Now I can't remember.
Sure.
Uh, but that scene really broke him,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
It's like you took all my stuff and you put it on Skid Row, or
Yeah, that's what he
you
calls
know
it.
in
Yeah.
a
Puts it in a
bag.
bag hung up on a hook.
Uh-huh. So
Uh,
it's like, you're a loser, you're a bum.
yep.
I mean, Tim Keller talks about this movie all the time. This movie and Chariots of Fire and Iron Giant. And
Yep.
like the
And
whole
Lord of the
point of
Rings.
this, and Lord of the Rings and C.S. Lewis. Uh and yeah.
Yep.
But the whole point, cuz Adrian asks him,
Why would you fight?
why do you fight? And he
Yep.
said, I want to prove that I'm not just some bum from the neighborhood,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right? Like that's his general motivation.
Uh-huh. But his first response to that is, "Oh, I can't sing and I can't dance." Right? It's the
There's
joke. He
Yep.
he go
Mhm.
he goes to the joke first, then she keeps asking. I love this about her. She keeps asking,
Mhm.
"I just don't get it. Why would
Mhm.
anybody want to do what you're doing?" Which I think Aaron and Jessica would probably also ask that question. Why would
Yep.
anybody? And I wonder that
Mhm.
when I watch the fight scenes, bro. I'm like, sick. How are you going to
Dude,
get up there and just get punched? If I got punched one time, I would die.
I know. Like who who's this, like the local celebrity or athlete that comes up in kind of like a green suit? They welcome him in, and
Mm-hmm.
he like
Yeah, yeah.
right before.
Frazier. Is that the guy? Is that the boxer's name? Is that what you're
Okay.
talking about at the final fight?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a guy that comes up and he kind of, gives hugs and good
Joe
luck.
Frazier. I think
Okay.
played by Joe Frazier.
Okay.
And then Rocky goes, I think they're friends. Maybe
Right.
they must be friends because he comes up and talks to Apollo Creed. I love that.
Yep. Yeah.
Everything Rocky says, I love. So
Yep.
that kind of goes without saying, but yeah, I love that. Uh-huh.
But I mean, I was just like, if I was that guy, you're in a suit
Mm-hmm.
and you go into the ring where the guys are all ready to go.
Yeah.
If I got punched one time by that dude, either of
Uh-huh.
those dudes, done.
Yep.
Done for good. Like I'd have a concussion, I'd have a headache for a week.
I think I would die.
Yeah.
Some of those punches they're throwing, or if they like
Yeah.
punch me in the ribs,
Uh-huh. Totally. We're
that'd
totally
be
weak.
like
Can't
smart
possibly
car
fight you.
stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So anyways, I love Rocky. I love the natural dialogue, the pet store thing, and all the other scenes we're talking about right now. Just make it perfect for me. I think I think probably that would be I have another evidence, but whenever I watch the first Rocky, I'm like, it stands out from every other movie for me because of him, because of
Yeah.
this character that's Sylvester Stallone invented and
Yeah.
lived into and made something completely unique to anything else.
Yep. Okay, I've got one. Let me chunk in.
Great.
Okay, my first evidence uh, is just how insanely rewatchable this movie is.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And I was trying, like last night when we watched it, I was trying to figure out why
Yeah.
you can just watch it over and over and over and over again.
Okay.
And I think I love the way how it looks.
Yep.
I love how it sounds, and I love how it makes me feel. So let me just unpack those three real quick.
Okay.
It's got this gritty East Coast 70s look to it.
I mean,
And
it's like it seems like they filmed it on like old film. I mean,
oh
like
yeah.
even in that, they found like secondhand film to film this movie on.
Yeah, like you guys still using that? We need some film for a movie we're making.
Yep.
Uh it's it just looks like it actually has a few little pops,
Mm-hmm.
like as if literally the negatives are melted
Yeah, I
or
agree.
something like that.
Yep, there's like a
And this is in
skip
the
once in a while, or like a yeah. I
yeah.
I I saw that a couple times last night. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost as if it's been edited super old school, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously it was cut and taped together
Yep.
the way they had to, so like, you can see when they had to splice something, the people will
Mm-hmm.
be like slightly off
Yep.
or something like that. So there's something just so classic about the way it looks. So like
Yep.
it's those pops, it's the lighting. I mean, there's some lighting in outdoor scenes that's pretty bad.
Uh-huh.
This is an Academy Award winning movie.
He
But
didn't have money. He didn't
right,
have
so
money for lights. You know
right,
what I
so
mean?
it's hard to see their faces sometimes, but that
Yep.
it's almost like the low budgetness of it
Yeah.
actually makes it look better because
Yep.
it's not super stylized, it's not overproduced.
Mm-mm.
There's no CGI whatsoever. Obviously, that wasn't possible.
Right.
Uh,
But
but
there's no
so
even
it's
doctoring of the film, right? What you see is what they did.
yeah. Well, okay. So, like for example, I heard somebody else say this, but the limitations and the restrictions put on it actually made it better. So, like for
Yep.
example, one of the ways they dealt with the limitations of budget is the night before scene
Mm-hmm.
where he goes and tours the stadium.
Yep. He
The
sees that
lights are
really
on.
cool banner of him.
Yeah,
I
I'm
wish I
wearing the
had
wrong
that
color
banner.
shorts. Well, yeah, I mean, there were a couple complete mistakes. Like they got the wrong shorts,
Yep.
and so he explains it with the dialogue there. They got the wrong size jacket, so he's like, "Is
Uh-huh.
my jacket too big?" Like that was just purely a mistake, but it becomes
But
a
it
great joke.
works. Yeah.
Yeah, uh,
Yes.
but they go in there and they show this is a trick. They
Mm-hmm.
show the stadium empty with the
Yeah.
lights on,
Okay.
and then they're able to do a ton of shots in the stadium with the lights off, and then you're just tricked into thinking it's full of people.
Right. Yep.
So that's just it's incredible working within your limitations and budget.
You think you're seeing the entire stadium because you saw it already the night
Right.
before lit up,
Yeah.
but they don't have money for all those extras. And so, but
Right.
you're in that headspace that this is the stadium that he is fighting in. It's really smart.
Yeah. That's, I mean, dude, just do those tricks. I mean, it's the exact opposite of pod racing scene where,
Yep.
you know, you've got all these CGI characters, some of them moving in lockstep with each other and looking
Yeah.
stupid. And then,
Well,
like, remember one block of real people?
yes.
Remember that?
And you've already mentioned episode 4, which was
Yep.
released right around this time.
Oh, 1 year later. So I mean that was something else I had in here is like the space race. You're
Mm-hmm.
9 years into being on the moon.
Yep.
Actually, you're 7 years after landing on the moon here. The
Right.
Space Shuttle Enterprise is unveiled this year,
Mm-hmm.
and the next year, Star Wars is about to create like an entire new genre,
Right.
right? And
Again, a
so,
movie that really excels because of what it can't do.
yeah,
Right. And
limitations.
so, it thrives because of the limitations. Is this a 70s thing? When I think about 70s movies that I love, like this one, Star Wars, Superman,
Yeah,
I don't know,
Godfather.
Godfather, right? These are they couldn't do whatever they wanted like people can do now,
Yeah.
and the movies are better because of that.
Okay, so with digital
Uh-huh.
computer graphics, it's like the sky's the limit, right? It's like
Yep.
no, the like our tiny budget and our very low tech is the limit. So now
Right.
we have to actually build character
Exactly.
and write great scenes and write great, you know,
Yep.
great stuff that draws you in. So I love how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
I love how it sounds.
Except for that
Just,
ADR at the end.
but
Would
actually
have loved that too.
I almost struck it. That wasn't a strict, or maybe it was a stricken. I can't remember if I said it was stricken,
Yeah.
but it's it's exactly the way it needs to be. If they redid that, it would be weird.
I I think it has its charm, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, it
Yep.
puts you in the 70s again. It's
Yeah.
weird. It sounds bad,
Yep.
but
Right.
I still like it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I love all that sound. I love
Mhm.
the sounds of when they walk around. I
Mm.
love like the bar scene. I love the singing
Yeah.
guys, and then I love the music, obviously.
Mhm.
So I want to talk about my perfect scene in a little bit.
Okay.
Um, and then lastly, I love how it makes me feel. This is in the rewatchable category
Yeah.
because it it stirs this emotion in you that you could be better than you are right now.
Uh-huh. And
You
this is
know,
I mean, this is Anthony's bread and butter. I
oh,
mean, we just did October
100.
Sky, we've done Rudy, we did Karate Kid, right? Now Karate Kid is my bread and butter, but
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
um it's the underdog. Is it the underdog thing that you're talking about? I guess so, right?
It's the
Like,
underdog. It's also the I mean, I would make an argument that this is a 4 movie because he believes in himself and he believes he's special and he believes he's awesome and he has an optimism about that, but he
yeah.
never quite makes it. But he keeps going for it.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
His superpower, if you watch the whole series, becomes he can take a punch.
Okay.
So he starts winning fights in later movies because not because he's the best fighter, but because he is a tank. He
Mm,
can just take punches.
yeah.
And you see that in this one a little bit. Um, where but I think still he's punching a little bit more in this movie than he does in further movies, but he begins to understand, okay, I'm better. I am unique
Mm,
because I can take a punch.
mm-hmm.
And I kind of like that too. Um, I think it's a 7 movie. I think he's more
Okay.
optimistic and about himself in a it'll be okay. I'm just not going to look at what's bad. Then he actually thinks
Okay.
he's good at it.
Okay.
I don't think he has much confidence in that he's a great fighter. I think he's pretty beaten down around his life in this movie in
But you
particular.
don't think he thinks he's special,
I don't
unique?
know. That's a good question.
You know what I mean? Like,
I actually don't.
okay,
I actually think he thinks he's not special.
okay. Like he doesn't believe in himself. That's so.
He's
Maybe we're both kind
he
of
says no.
projecting our own. You
100%.
know what I
We
mean?
are
Because I.
projecting ourselves. And then you talk to Jessica and she's like, he's a one. I don't think he's a one. I don't think he doesn't want to fight. He's like, I'll spar when he's invited to do this thing.
Yeah. No, for sure. But so I would say though that a 4 in that situation would be like I'm going to be revealed as not special, as not good at this, and so
Okay.
I'd rather not do it
I
because it's
see.
going like it's there's an insecurity there and like a fear of failure.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be my
I
read on
think he
that.
probably started as a four and he has been
Okay.
beaten down for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really believe himself in himself anymore. And then
Sure.
the arc of this movie is he believes in himself again. And that sets
Okay.
up the rest of the 9 movies ahead, right? Where he
Yeah.
actually then does become a four. And that's it's so hard to talk about because we have this kind of massive character.
Yeah.
And this movie, like, is all backstory, is all set up.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
get
Oh
a
yeah.
little fight at the end.
It's world building. This
Yep.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
So can I talk about my perfect scene because it's gonna
Please do.
continue
I can't wait.
with my with my rewatchability.
Okay,
Okay.
great. Yep.
Okay. Perfect food, I forgot to mention, is just those eggs.
Yep.
5 cracked eggs that he literally drinks,
It
right?
goes
He
all over
does
his
it.
face. He does it. Have you ever done this?
Nope. Have you?
I've tried. We had a
Uh-huh.
we had a guys' night
Uh-huh. Okay.
when I was on early in my staff career. A
Oh,
whole
this
bunch of
is
guys
so
came over to.
Steven. I
I know,
love this.
and part of it was we watched Rocky 1,
Uh-huh.
and then we paused it right when he
Oh
did
boy.
that, and we all went and tried to do it.
How many? Just one
One,
or
one egg.
okay.
So I
Uh-huh.
really tried, bro, and it was. I just kept like it would like go halfway down. Sorry, and I would be. It wouldn't go down, and so after I just kept spitting it back into the cup, and then eventually
Oh,
I just got
sick.
a pan out and I poured that cup that I tried to swallow like 5 or 6 times and scrambled it and ate it.
So
I couldn't do it.
sick.
It is so disgusting and hard. So of course that's what I think about every time I see that scene. 5 eggs, and again that scene takes a while. You watch him crack every single one.
Mm-hmm.
He's just listening to the radio.
Mm-hmm.
No music. It's just a talk radio he's listening to on a crappy little speaker he probably found in the
Yep.
trash.
Yep.
And he drinks it all up. It kind of goes all over his face. He wipes it with that gray sweatshirt, which he never washes then from then on.
Yep. Sick.
And it is a perfect food scene.
Perfect food scene.
Yep.
I stinking love that part. Sorry, that wasn't my scene. I just had to
No.
mention that.
Yeah. No, I'm glad.
Okay, let me chunk back in.
He's chunking back in. Great. Perfect scene. I want to hear this.
Okay, so my favorite scene
Mm-hmm.
is the night before the fight. At least on this watch.
Okay. Yeah. And
And
maybe another reason
maybe
why it's rewatchable because I have a different perfect scene every time I watch it.
okay. Yeah. Uh, so this probably wasn't my favorite scene last time I watched it. But uh we'll talk about it more some other time, but I
Okay.
just went through and I'm still in the middle of a huge audition
Mm-hmm.
process. And
Okay. All
so
right. Now this is making sense to me.
I've just been through the night before scene in my life.
And
Like,
is it pillow talk with you and
oh
Aaron? I can
man, I
imagine.
mean, it was just
That
it
sounded dirtier
was
than I wanted to sound.
yeah,
I
no.
can what I mean is I'm sure it is.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So in the scene, he can't sleep
Yep.
and Also, he's sleeping on the couch.
This the first time I noticed this. He's sleeping
Yep.
on the couch and she's in his bed. Do you think they slept together? I don't think they did.
I hope they didn't. I hope.
I
Yeah.
think knowing Rocky
Yeah.
and knowing Adrian,
Yep.
I think Paulie is wrong. I don't think that they've had sex.
Mm.
And I
They
think the
just made
proof of
out.
they kiss a lot. Hey, listen, they're adults. They're 30. They're both 30 years old. We hear,
Right.
or almost 30. I guess they say they can kiss if they want, but
Yep.
and they can do whatever they want. But I love the fact that he's on the couch and she's in his bed.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think that's very honorable.
Good
Uh,
job, Rocky.
yeah, but also remember,
Uh,
she wants to fool around after
oh
he's
man,
been after when his hands are all bloody, which Aaron is like sick.
I mean,
Oh,
but it's really working for her. She is so hot for this guy. Even in the pet store scene, you can tell she's kind of looking through the bars of the birdcage.
yeah, totally.
He loves Rocky.
And he's weird, dude. You know what
This
I
guy
mean?
is
Like
so weird. He is
he
such
is
a weirdo.
so weird.
Yeah.
Um, but he's like, no, Adrian, like no fooling around, right? He's like, I am a disciplined person. I have my eye on the prize.
Women weaken legs. He knows that. Women weaken legs. He doesn't want to fool around.
Yep, totally. So he sleeps on the couch.
Yep.
He can't sleep, so he goes and he kind of does his walls of Jericho. He
Walk around. Yep.
walk around. I have done this exact same thing in like visualize the next day.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Uh, I don't know. It hit so hard when I watched it last night, and
I didn't even think about this
I was
that
like,
it would hit you hard.
this is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he goes, he visualizes, and he
Mm-hmm.
comes back to her, and he says, "I can't do it."
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, I'm like, Aaron, we had to like pause it and talk about it because I'm like, we have been in this moment
Uh-huh.
where I was like, Aaron, I can't do it. Like, I don't go through a single major audition or
Mm.
thing, usually auditions, which is totally like a fight,
Yeah.
although
Sure.
it's against yourself.
It's not against the people you're auditioning against.
No, I'm like,
Oh.
how can I do my best? I don't know.
Okay.
There's a whole nother thing there, but I don't really think about the other people.
Because Rocky does say, I can't do it. And she says, what? And he says, I can't beat him. So that's really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Um, now that doesn't go against anything you're saying because I think
Nope.
that can also be like, I can't beat. You're saying it's against you.
Yeah. It's against the war
Uh,
is within.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I
Like,
get it. Mm-hmm.
and that's all I wanted to do. Dude, my goal in this audition that I just had,
Mm-hmm.
my was prepare faithfully, perform
Yep.
beautifully, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to go the distance.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Rocky wanted, was
Mm-hmm.
that Rocky didn't even care if he won.
Okay.
He's like, I want to prove that I'm not a bum and I want to go the distance.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It is less about winning. And actually, I think him saying I can't beat him
Hmm.
is an important part of that process
Yeah.
where he has to decide to go out and do it, even though he knows he's not going to win.
Yeah. Totally. Well,
That's crazy to me.
yeah, well, in that, so that really inspires me,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that he keeps going, and that they everybody, like, this, the whole setup of this thing was kind of, I don't want to say it was a joke, but it was a marketing ploy,
100%.
and he is a foil for Apollo Creed to have this great show, right?
Yeah, his trainer says no, somebody forgot to tell this guy that it's not a real fight, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's that amazing part I think where it shifts in the first round
Yep.
and Rocky's like, "Hold on. I know I said this thing last night about how I can't beat him, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
What if
Yeah.
I could beat this guy?" I
Yeah.
mean, I've got chill bumps right now. You can see the shift
Mm-hmm.
It's so I don't know how they do this in the fight. The rest of the movie I like more. The fight though is really really incredible the way that it's choreographed and
Absolutely.
tells that
Yes.
story of him, I think, regaining who he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like crying.
Absolutely.
It's so good when he knocks him down.
Mm-hmm.
First time Apollo Creed has ever been knocked down, they say.
Right. Yep. Right.
He and then he just starts loving it. It's not even like he gets gritty and frowning. All of a sudden he gets the energy back.
Yeah.
This play
Yeah.
beautifully thing that you're talking about. He's like, wait, this is gonna be fun. And I
Uh-huh.
might win.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
so good.
Well, and he's like it's kind of like the first uh excerpt or couple of things you get through that
Mm-hmm.
are really hard, and if you nail it, you're like, "Oh man,
Mm-hmm.
this is good.
Yep.
This is fun." You
I'm
start to
assuming you felt that in auditions
Oh
where
yeah.
you're like, that was a great start, and I'm gonna ride this the rest of the way.
Totally. Like, I'm going to go the distance. Let's
Uh-huh.
go.
Yep.
And there are other times, I mean, like there was there was one time where, I mean, this is 15 years ago. It was a Milwaukee Symphony audition, like when I
Mm-hmm.
was in grad school. And I played this one excerpt super bad.
Mm.
Like just like it was so bad.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of was like, dope. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? Like I was like, that was probably just axed me because I know the way it kind of works. They actually let me keep going, so that was cool.
Uh-huh.
Um, but dude, so here's the line. So it's after, I can't remember after what round it was, or what do they call them? Yeah, rounds, right?
I think so. Yeah. Round one.
Uh,
Yep.
the dude was like, he doesn't know this is a show. He thinks it's a dang fight.
That's it.
Finish the
Okay.
bum so we can go home,
Which and
right?
at that point I'm like, listen, I would be thinking the same way. I just want to go home. Boxing sucks. I want to
Yeah.
knock this guy out so I can go home back to my nice wood paneled office. That's where I said, what is this?
Oh,
They Save Christmas because so much wood paneling.
oh yeah, wood paneling, absolutely. But I just love how he he takes it so seriously.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like that line, he thinks this is a
Hmm.
fight. It that line's actually in Rudy even when he's like, kid thinks it's the Super Bowl.
Yep. Yep.
You know?
That's because
So
these people put everything they have into
yeah,
what they're doing, and it surprises people.
yeah,
Obviously, it surprises the spectators,
yeah.
um, because they're like, "Oh, okay, we came to a fight." You really feel it in the crowd.
Oh yeah. Well, even in the bar, when
Mm.
he does that
Oh yeah,
first knockout punch,
I love that. I love that shot.
they go to the bar and they are freaking out. See,
So good.
so that's what I mean is like the general community around it is like, man, this is gonna be they put this Italian stallion out there and he
Hmm.
is gonna get knocked out and it's gonna be hilarious.
It's kind of like
You know what I
that's
mean?
what they want to see.
Yeah,
This
yeah, it's
seems like it would be funny.
right.
Yep.
Almost I don't know, like yeah, it's just gonna be a joke, like
Yeah.
I said.
Yep.
And oh shoot, now he knocked him out.
Hmm.
Oh, this is a fight.
Yeah.
And so, but all the while, like imagine that's why I'm inspired by Rocky is like imagine you're the joke,
Hmm.
but you have to train through that
Hmm.
knowledge that everybody kind of thinks like you're not up to the task.
And he's not. The movie could have been written where he doesn't know that, where he's
Right.
kind of surprised by that when he goes out,
Yeah.
but it's not, and I think it's a better movie for it.
Yeah.
He knows he's a joke. He's made fun
Yeah.
of. He is, and he's just like, listen, what else do I have to do? Right? Like my
Right.
life sucks. I
Yeah.
like fighting. I can't sing
Yeah.
or dance, and I
Yeah.
want to prove something. And it goes differently than everybody in the room, which is another
Yep.
reason why I like it. Everybody in the room is surprised, including Rocky, by how it
Yep.
goes.
Oh yeah. I mean, he knows he's the foil and yet he brings his best.
Yep.
And I
It's
think
so
that's
inspiring.
yeah, dude, I have one more evidence that's just 3 words.
Okay, I wonder if it's the same one. I have one more evidence too. Go ahead.
Okay, well, what's yours then?
Mine is that he loses.
Mine was he doesn't win.
Hey, mine was only 2 words. Do I win?
Dang it.
Um, uh, I wonder if this has ever happened. I didn't. I wish I had researched this more. It's crazy that he doesn't win, right? I mean, the whole thing goes, you think he might win, and then he doesn't. The
Yep.
he almost. I mean, he's almost gonna beat. He almost knocks him out in the last round, and you think he's
Yeah.
gonna win, and then
Mm-hmm.
they call it, I think, early, so that doesn't happen. Um, and then the fact that Apollo Creed wins is so buried
Yeah.
in that
Well,
in
okay.
that last scene.
So maybe I don't quite know what doesn't he just go the distance and it's a draw? What
It's not a
actually
draw.
happens?
It's not it. It is a draw, and then there's a decision that the judge has to make at the very end. All of that stuff is background ADR. You can
Yep.
hardly hear it because
Yep.
it does not matter.
Yeah. Yep.
And the way that it's directed and written is, who cares
Yeah.
if he won or not? And we're doing this episode in December called Be Faithful, Not Successful. And so this really lines up with this.
Yes. Yep.
Um, that's why it's inspiring to me, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter
Yep.
that he doesn't win. In
Yep.
fact, it's better. It's better that he doesn't win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude. It's more true to life. It's the
Yep.
ending of broadcast news where
Yep.
nobody ends up together.
Little Women. Nobody ends up together. Besides, well, she loses. Joe loses at the end of Little Women, right?
Right.
It's it's so weird that we're doing all these movies where they lose at the end.
Uh-huh.
And why is it so inspiring still?
Dude,
It,
that's just life.
it's because these people are true to themselves. They're as excellent as they can be. They're faithful. And I love that we've been reminded over and over of that this year of all
Mm,
years, right? Like,
yeah.
um, who do I want to be? Now, I like it when he starts winning and
Yeah, and
never
we love
loses
winning,
again.
and also winning is also good. But
We love it. We love it in October Sky when in that scene where he wins the science fair, right? I love
yeah,
Karate
right.
Kid because he wins.
Right, exactly. But it's like kind of we're going to talk about it in the faithfulness versus success.
Yeah.
But it's like define what winning is.
Mm-hmm.
And he he first of all he met and got together with Adrian.
Mm-hmm.
That rules.
Yep.
I mean, what does he say at the very end? He's just looking for Adrian.
And my favorite line in the movie goes, "Where's your hat?"
Oh
When she
yeah,
comes up, her hat gets knocked off. "Where's your hat?"
dude, I just love how beautiful he finds her to be.
Oh my
You know what I mean?
gosh.
Like how
Yeah.
entranced with her he is, how in love with her he is, and how she just also thinks she just loves him. Like they just love each other. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And
He's
that,
like, I like that jacket. I like that hat. You know?
yep. You look at what he was always talking about, her hat and her hair. That
Yep.
never changes in the movies. I mean, they stay so insanely in love through all
Mm,
of the movies.
yep.
And I like how they're so different. He doesn't even yell, "Adrian, we did it!" Like, that's not in this one. It's in another movie.
Yeah.
It's in the second one.
Right. Let me mention just a couple last thoughts, dude.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, I love that a fictional character became a real life monument
Mm-hmm.
in
In
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, that is so friggin' cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, an idea became a physical reality,
Yeah.
and now people run to the top of that.
Do you think that that statue is of Sylvester Stallone or of Rocky?
Whoa, dude, that's very existential. I think it's Rocky.
I do too. I mean, I think they're very proud of Sylvester Stallone in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
but I think they are proud of that movie and what it did for the city. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
scene,
Man, I love that.
and then that it's revealed in the second one, and it's a part of the plot is so awesome.
Mm,
I agree. I love everything about that statue.
I love it.
It's not in this
Uh,
movie, but that it comes
but
later
but
is
the
so
shot,
awesome.
the
That
shot
shot.
is in
Yep,
this. I mean,
you're right.
it's like those top. It's a top 10 shot in movies of all time.
You're right. Yep.
That final,
Iconic image.
yep, that synthesizer,
Uh-huh.
like keeps going up by the octave by the octave. You're like, can it go higher? And it
We
keeps
we
going.
have to build a new synthesizer so it has
Yeah.
another octave for
Yeah,
this
I
scene.
wanted one more. Like I wanted it to go one more, and then one more where it goes to so high you can't hear it.
Only dogs can hear. Only Buttkiss can hear it.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Big laugh out loud moment for us
Mm,
is just chucking the turkey.
mm.
I'm
That's
it,
such a
like
that's such a crazy scene because you feel horrible.
right. Yeah.
Burt Young is doing an incredible job at being a despicable person who never really gets anywhere in this movie.
Uh huh.
Like he just still sucks. This
Yep.
guy sucks so bad,
Yep.
but he's
Totally.
also kind of funny.
Yep. I think it's hilarious, and I
Yeah,
think that scene is hilarious.
yeah.
I'm sorry, not that scene. Sorry, that action. Like she's like, but I
He
have a
throws it out
turkey
the
in the
he
oven.
throws it out the
He
door.
just he just takes the turkey and throws it on the street.
But
I mean,
he keeps the leg so he can still eat
yeah,
his own piece.
totally.
I want my portion.
Yep, that's so funny. Um, and then I forgot to mention this earlier. Well, first of all, Bill Conti's piano music in
Mm,
my perfect scene when he's
mm.
walking. I mean, it's just like it's the
The night
firm.
before scene. Yeah.
Yep,
Hmm.
it's got firm vibes. From
Miyazaki vibes.
Miyazaki vibes.
Yep.
Um, but we normally mentioned this earlier, but I just have to drop these in. Two Strickens.
Okay. Yeah, I want to hear these.
You wouldn't train in Converse. You wouldn't run in
Yeah,
Converse.
I wonder what you thought of that.
What do
Is
you
this a
think?
70s thing? It would hurt my feet so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, we wear friggin' Hokas. We gain 3 inches in height when we run.
Yeah. Right. I
It's
mean,
like he's running on pieces of cardboard.
so is this pre Nike?
Yeah, it is. It's like
Okay,
when
so
that was the sports shoe, that was the basketball shoe, that
yeah,
was what you
yeah,
would
that's
work
what they were
out in.
wearing in Hoosiers.
Yeah, yep. Everybody has Converse and Hoosiers.
Yeah, okay. So they didn't know then that a way better, like, I mean, I would roll my ankle in a second if I tried to run in Converse.
Hurts my feet just to
You know what I
watch
mean?
that scene. Yep.
Too flat, too hard, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Great stricken.
Um,
Except for
and
there's nothing they could do about that in the 70s, but you're right.
right, and also it looks cool. The outfit looks really cool.
Great looking outfit.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh, Also, actually, running in sweatpants is also awful.
Yeah, I do it when it's really cold. It looked really cold.
Yeah, you're right. When it's cold, I was thinking like mid temperature Atlanta
Oh
and
yeah. This is
sweat.
I'm sure it was below zero. I mean, sometimes when he's outside, you can tell it is sub-zero temperatures. He's
Yeah,
training in.
you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's like sweatpants just get so wet because
That's
there's
the
no
problem.
wicking. You know
You're
what I mean?
right.
They get heavy.
So what we're striking right now is workout apparel in the 70s. They couldn't do anything about this, but come on.
Okay,
It hurts my feet and and body to think about working out in this outfit.
like you're right. They couldn't help it.
Yeah.
And lastly, we talked about this in Karate Kid.
Mm.
Not enough time to train, dude.
So this oop, you're right.
So the timeline is from Thanksgiving to New Year's, he goes from basically getting kicked out of his gym
Uh-huh.
to almost beating Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
And all those, he can barely make it to the top of the art museum.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of
Okay,
the
yeah.
training montage, I mean, I don't
Jumping
know.
up and
Could we
down.
do that in 5 weeks? Could we train for a marathon well, not from zero. He's already an incredible
Well, I
fighter,
think
but
if he's doing what he's doing, which is training 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day,
okay.
He is no longer working at his job. He's just getting $500 once in a while from this guy with the glasses. Um,
Right.
he's not working. He's just working out. So I think he could look like he looks at the end with 5 weeks of training. The running up the stairs, I bumped up against that. Was like
Okay.
that seems like too much of a. Now I love. It's a small training scene, but I would say I almost start crying when he starts doing those one-handed push-ups.
That is incredible, dude. That's real.
He looks so awesome when he's doing
That
that.
that is so cool. My favorite is the side steady cam sprinting shot.
The crane shot where it's following along with him,
Or the crane shot. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and he is gaining speed, gaining speed, gaining.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just in a shipyard or something, right? Did you already say that
Yeah.
in the shipyard? Yeah.
No.
Oh
Yeah, that
man.
is so cool. I love that shot.
Yeah, I go back and forth again. This is why it's perfect every time I watch it between which of those I like better. This
Mm,
time, those one-handed push-ups really did it for me.
yep.
He looks so good when he's doing.
Dang it. 5 weeks from what do we have to do 5 weeks from now?
Well, I have a marathon. Oh, I have a half marathon 6 weeks from right now.
Okay.
So I'm training, but I'm there's no way I could start from scratch. Well, maybe I could if I did it. That's all I did.
There's something I love, man, about that like it's the triangle shape. There's no gut.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I have a reverse triangle where it gets bigger at the gut and then goes opposite.
Yeah,
Okay.
to our sunken chests.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it's like this,
Uh-huh.
and he's like this.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just looks good, man.
He's a good,
Dang
I
it.
mean, he looks great in this movie. I would say he looks, I mean, he continues to get more and more cut. I think he loses body weight. And so you in the
Okay.
third one, fourth one, he's like 1% body weight. And so you see all of that muscle.
Right.
And they're also just oiling the crap out of him.
Right. And isn't
Um,
he super short?
I was thinking about that. He is short. I think that that's kind of what people say about him. I think it might be because he's always standing next to Arnold.
Yeah, but in that the thing that conversation I heard between Sylvester Stallone and Rocky,
Uh-huh.
I can't remember who says to the other one. He's like, "Man, you're shorter than I thought."
Okay, interesting. He's taller than
And
Talia Shire. I clocked that in this viewing.
yeah,
I was like, okay,
he
he's
is
taller
wearing
than her.
heels when he's in that one scene with the thumbs.
Yep, I that is quite the fit. He's got like that leather jacket. That's a
Yeah,
Sub-Zero scene. No gloves, open leather
yeah,
jacket, and some sort of heeled shoe.
yeah. Right.
Another look I love is Apollo's trainer when he's watching TV and getting nervous.
Oh yeah.
Button down shirt, just fully wide open. He's like in an official office. A lot of people in business suits, and this guy's got button down shirt all the way unbuttoned, wide open with a gold necklace on.
Yeah. Wow.
I love it.
You know, we did not talk about Apollo Creed or Carl Weathers enough.
Let's do that in the result show.
Okay. Yep. That sounds great because
Because
he's
he
awesome.
is
He
so
is
good.
he's amazing. I didn't know that he was a football player for the Oakland Raiders
Oh, I
right
didn't
up
know that.
until 2 years. But I mean, that was according to his IMDb bio.
Wow.
Like a
Okay.
football player,
Yeah.
2 years before retired, 2 years before this movie.
Yeah.
So that would have been 1 year before it was filmed. Actually, I also like the idea that George Lucas went to this movie while filming Star Wars.
Yeah. Worlds
Like this,
collide.
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I also like Carl Weathers' chest hair.
Yep, and Carl Weathers in what's his name? Mickey
Yeah.
Burgess Meredith,
Uh-huh.
grumpy old men,
Yep. He's so
and
good in
then
Grumpy Old Man.
Carl Weathers, Happy Gilmore.
So good in that. He's so good in Arrested Development.
Arrested Development, Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. This guy's good. He's good.
Yep.
Love it. Okay, great movie, everyone. We want to hear what you think about Rocky. Best way to do that is follow us on Instagram, and we will be posting a survey in a couple days about whether or not you think Rocky is a perfect movie. We're going to gather those and we're going to do the result show in a couple weeks here on the bonus disc. Thank you to our webmaster, Adam, Jason for our graphics, Davis for our music, Annie for our social media. This is, like I said, the last movie of 2023. January 2024, we will continue our tradition of working our way through the Star Wars movies. Speaking of Arrested Development, here's $5. Go watch a Star War.
You'll go to Star Wars.
And the Star War that we're gonna be watching is Return of the Jedi. We're on episode 6. I cannot wait. Not the best. I've said that. How many times can I say this? Not in my opinion the best Star Wars, but my favorite Star Wars.
Brilliant take.
So I can't wait to talk about Return of the Jedi. We've got Jabba, Ewoks, who I love.
Perfect score.
Speaking of the Mandalorian, Boba Fett.
Yep.
Perfect score. Those low brass hits when he's going to jump into the Sarlacc pit. I can't wait to talk about it all.
Yes.
I love the Mickey Mouse singing that scene. Boom.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yep. Perfect movie. Can't wait to talk about Return of the Jedi. Thanks for a great 2023, everyone.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I hope you've been watching the movies along with us, and we're so looking forward to Return of the Jedi. And happy Christmas, right?
Merry Christmas, everyone. To celebrate, yell at your sister and accuse her of being pregnant.
And then throw a delicious turkey onto the
right
street.
out the window. Then take a bat to family heirlooms. All right. Great app.
Super fun, man.
And happy watching Return of the Jedi.
Sweet, dude.
Awesome.
Love it. All right, let's stop that. 1, 2, 3, stop. Save. All right, I'm back to editing, dude.
Sweet. Okay, I'm stopping this video.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.